Great! Liz finally kisses someone, and it's the creepy temp Lucky? Seriously? Cy can't catch a break. And Anna, good grief, could she cry anymore? She's in charge of the police, she's a spy, and apparently a professional sobber too. Is it really too much to ask for her to keep it together for once? Between her waterworks and Mac's migraine, no wonder they can't solve crime in Port Charles. Maybe they need a nap. As for Elizabeth, I don't care what you say. Don't let Dr. Death do anything to her. Yeah, she can be a pain sometimes, but come on, don't make her suffer at the hands of that guy. And honestly, what's the deal with everyone complaining about the Lucky fill-in? GH said it was temporary from the start. Did people forget how to listen? Now that was a moment. Elizabeth opens the door, and boom, there's Cyrus, standing there all ominous. I called it. Yesterday, I said she'd be alone, and he'd show up. And honestly, the tension shifted when Cyrus entered. That whole moment with Lucky's temporary stand-in? Yeah, sure, fine. But Lucky still manages to give Liz the "you've never looked more beautiful" line. Not bad, dude. Also, hello, where's Colette? Brennan sent her to tail Cyrus, right? Isn't she supposed to be watching his hideout? And side note, Jeff has been fantastic as Cyrus, but honestly, I'll be glad when he's finally gone. And then we get Sidwell. Oh boy. As for Lulu, oh, people need to lay off her. She was in a coma for 4 years. Give her a break for not being the same person she once was. At least she's trying. And honestly, I'm rooting for her and Dante to get closer, maybe even rekindle that relationship. I'll even pray that Jason gets to Liz's house before Cyrus does something really horrible to her, because we know he will. And please, for the love of all things sane, don't put Jason and Anna together. Just no. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Who opens their door without asking, who's there? Or at least peeking through the curtain or the peephole? I've been like that my whole life, paranoid clearly. Anyway, I fell asleep watching GH and only caught the last 15 minutes, but hey, that's all I needed. Hope Jason swoops in to save Elizabeth from creepy Cyrus. Lulu's got the right idea though. Get your man back, girl. Chase, wow, that voice. Is he a professional singer or just blessed with magic vocal cords? And Mac and Felicia, they still have that couple goals vibe. It's nice to see them together. I'm really happy for John J. York, Mac, too. He's been such a great part of the show. Honestly, I've had a lot from those 15 minutes. Oh, and Brad. Classic. He wants his ex back, and he was clearly staring at him. Subtle. But here's my deal. Anything involving Jason and Anna that doesn't tie back to Robin, I'm skipping it. Seriously, am I the only one who remembers Jason literally picking up Anna's daughter during the nurse's ball while she was crushed over losing Stone and giving her a little emotional support? This whole thing with Anna and Jason, yeah, it's gross. And let's be real, they're not getting rid of Elizabeth. She's too important. I'm not even scared about that creepy fill-in for Lucky. He's just not it. Here's hoping the real Lucky comes back and finally puts an end to Cyrus. Please. Look, GH needs to leave Elizabeth alone already. And don't even get me started on the new Lucky. I can't stand him. He'll never live up to the OG Lucky. Honestly, GH, you're losing fans left and right with all these talented actors leaving. Do better. And Anna? Let's talk hypocrisy for a minute. She ends her friendship with Sonny because he's a criminal, but then spends a whole year cozying up to Jason, also a criminal. Double standard much? You can't decide one's a mob boss and the other's just a misunderstood soul in your eyes. But that's not even the worst of it. Anna knew about Valentin's crimes, his entire pikeman operation, and she actively worked against a federal warrant for him, even helped him disappear. Oh, and don't forget, she had all the evidence 5 years ago to lock up Peter, and instead, she covered it up, letting him wreak havoc on the town. It's beyond frustrating. Max should be in charge, and Anna, take away her badge and save the town from her mess. It's so tragic how people love to pile on Lulu. I mean, sure, she was in a coma for 4 years, but let's all hold her to the same standards as before, right? Maybe she's not exactly the same Lulu, but hey, at least she's trying, kind of. It'd be nice to see her and Dante reconnect, maybe even get back together. But that's just me hoping for some growth in a relationship that's been through the ringer. But really, when it comes to being a mom to Rocco, Lulu's been a bit of a disaster. Instead of focusing on her son, she's spending all her time whining about Charlotte. At least, finally, she admits it. Charlotte's her kid, but hey, guess what? Rocco needs his mom too. And then she asks Dante for advice on how to parent Rocco. How about spending time with your son and actually getting to know him? Just an idea. It's almost poetic though. Lulu has this moment of clarity where she's like, I'm failing as a mom, and honestly, it's not surprising. But hey, she gets a little wake-up call when a batch of Valentine's cupcakes reminds her that, oops, she's been ignoring Rocco. At least it's a start. There's this sweet little moment with Lulu and Dante over those cupcakes. Dante laughing, actually happy for once. But then, the awkward tension when Lulu's clearly thinking about kissing him, but doesn't quite pull the trigger. Classic. As for the rest of it, I'm all for Lulu's development, but Willow? Can we just fast forward through her scenes? Also, does anyone know where Lucky is? Or that random guy Carly's messing with? Where is everyone? And why does it feel like nobody's ever around when you need them? Here's an idea though. After Cyrus is out of the picture, it'd be nice if Dante and Rocco could ask Jason and Drew if Danny and Scout can spend a weekend with them. Dante's called back to work, and that leaves Lulu with the kids to bond. It'd be a perfect chance for all of them to share memories of Sam and just, have some fun. No drama, just a weekend to heal and maybe, finally, build those family connections. Lulu, alright, longtime viewers, please help me out here. She takes a deep breath, diving into her rant and clearly not holding back. I've been stuck watching General Hospital for, 8 years now? And for most of that time, Lulu's been in a coma, so naturally, I missed, her. But now that she's back, is it just me, or has she always been this self-absorbed, whiny, me kind of person? I get it, missing 4 years of your life must suck, but can she stop making it all about her for 2 seconds? Seriously though, soaps have a way of reinterpreting the past, so maybe she wasn't always like this, right? Do people still ship Carly and Brennan? Just wondering if anyone's still on board with this new version of Brennan. Honestly, the whole change felt like it came out of nowhere. I swear, Carly had more chemistry with the other Brennan. I mean, I'm not totally against the new guy. He's doing fine, all things considered. But let's be real, he and Carly don't have the same spark as she had with the original Brennan. Not really, all the heat and tension that used to exist between them is gone, like someone just turned off the switch. I'm not hating on them, but I'm just not feeling it anymore. Now, I'm pretty indifferent to the whole thing. She definitely had more chemistry with the last one, but honestly, I've invested too much time in them to just throw in the towel because Brennan got recast. They'll get there. It's just different with the new guy. It's like someone threw a cold blanket over them. But hey, we're kind of enjoying Carly with someone new. At least they're not recycling Sunny, Jason, Drew, or Jax again. Is it just me, or is anyone else completely exhausted by these micro scenes? I've been noticing it for a while now, and honestly, General Hospital is the worst offender. You get maybe 1 or 2 sentences from the characters, and then, boom, cut to the next scene. It's getting ridiculous. Like, at this point, we're just getting snippets of conversations, not even real dialogue. And don't get me started on how rare it is to actually see a full conversation. When they do throw one in, half the time it's just a recap. Seriously? Don't waste my time with that. I can Google whatever I missed. I'm not here for the highlights reel. Honestly, I'm starting to think these soaps are on borrowed time. They've been trying to compete with other types of programming, but here's the thing. Soaps have never been other programming. Sure, in the past, conversations could get long, tedious, and repetitive. We all made fun of the endless flashbacks and some of the filler moments, but at least you felt like you were connecting with the characters. Now, it's like they've gone too far in the other direction. Characters are a blur, you can't even figure out why anyone does anything, and it feels like they're all just going through the motions. Soaps were never about fancy special effects or flashy edits. It was about the characters. If you lose that, what's even left? Drew is basically the new AJ, and not in a good way. Honestly, at this point, the stuff Drew has pulled is so bad that AJ looks like an angel by comparison. Like, can we just kill off Drew and bring back AJ Quartermaine, Michael's real dad? Imagine how much better the family dynamics would be with AJ back in the picture. He could be there for his kids, Wiley and Amelia, and he'd actually get to be part of the family instead of, I don't know, an afterthought. Plus, he'd get to be a grandfather and make up for lost time with Danny and Scout. It'd be so much better than the current situation. I can't help but mourn what AJ could have been. He had all this potential, but the writers just tossed him aside the minute BW took over. Why couldn't AJ and Carly have had a real redemption arc together? They had this incredible friendship, and it was right for a super couple storyline. But no, instead, they decided to make them toxic and destroy their relationship. And let's not even talk about the whole drugging him thing. That was beyond stupid, and it ruined both of their characters. The wasted potential just hurts. What they could have had, it's such a tragedy. Now Drew, Kane Quartermaine as some kind of antagonist to Jason Morgan. Please, that's just unnecessary. If we really wanted a good versus bad brother duo, AJ should have been resurrected. The drama was there, and instead, we get this recycled twin nonsense with Drew. I mean, seriously, how many unknown twin storylines are we going to do? Anna and Alex, Nell and Willow, it's just overdone at this point. Oh, Jason's just great, but Sasha? Really? So let me get this straight. All that impassioned speech she gave Michael about raising the baby on her own, completely irrelevant now that Jason swoops in, claiming to be the father. Her entire reason for wanting to keep the baby away from the Quartermaines and Sunny was to protect it, and now her baby daddy is not only a Q, but also knee-deep in Sunny's world and, surprise, surprise, a target himself. At least Michael was just a target to get to Sunny, not actively in danger. And really, how is it more believable that she hooked up with some random one-night stand, rather than with Jason? Like, let's get real here. And let's not forget the irony of her whole situation. She's bending over backwards to make sure Michael gets custody of his kids, but doesn't want him involved in her baby's life. Oh, and she's also putting her own child in harm's way. Classic Sasha, her own personal catch-22. On a side note, Jason's been impressively solid lately. He's always been a rock, but this time, he's actually rising above it all. Definitely appreciating his consistency. Why has General Hospital never bothered to celebrate Spinelli's birthday? It's honestly baffling. Since Damien Spinelli waltzed into Port Charles in late 2006, you'd think someone, at some point, would have at least thrown him a small party. You know, maybe a card from his friends, or, at the very least, a nod from the GH powers that be. But nope, nada. And it's not like they're busy celebrating every other character's birthday these days. Honestly, do they even celebrate anyone's birthdays anymore? It's like the show just forgot that birthdays are a thing. But then again, considering Spinelli's track record of showing up for a few episodes, disappearing for months, and reappearing with zero fanfare, maybe the timing just never lines up. Or who knows, they couldn't squeeze an occasional birthday celebration into their jam-packed schedule of soap opera drama. The classic Ice Princess era. What a throwback! Robin's arrival in Port Charles is one of those moments etched in GH history. You're right that Anna didn't bring Robin initially. It was actually Robert Scorpio who first received her, but not in a traditional "come meet your dad" sort of way. Robin came into his life through a woman named Tiffany Hill. She was the one who brought the young girl to Robert's home after her mother, Holly Sutton, disappeared. Tiffany's role was pivotal in that early storyline, making sure Robin found her way into Robert's life. If you're looking for the exact moment, though, it's definitely one of those first scenes that set the stage for Robin's future with Robert, even before Anna's entrance into the picture. Hopefully, that clears things up a bit. What's the point of this whole custody mess? I'm genuinely confused. The writers are acting like Michael will be back any second, but I thought there were no plans to recast him, and Chad hasn't hinted at anything temporary. So why are they making it seem like Willow might lose full custody with Michael stuck in a German burn clinic for who knows how long? There's no way that's happening. I get that Martin's looking for dirt to make sure Willow gets full custody, but why? A competent lawyer would focus on getting Willow temporary full custody while Michael recovers, and let the affair drama cool down before hashing out a permanent agreement. I mean, I get why Jason's pretending to claim Sasha's baby, since Martin and Willow are gunning for full custody. But what's the endgame here? We all know the truth is eventually going to come out, and once Michael's back, it's kind of hard to ignore the fact that Jason's tied to both the Quartermaines and the Corinthoses. So is Jason just planning on raising Michael's baby for the long haul now? Is he supposed to live in the same house as his kid and just not be involved? And let's be real, it's absurd to think either of them could lose custody just over cheating. If that were the case, no one in Port Charles would be allowed to raise their own kids. Yes, the classic PCT sleuthing skills on display. So the hospital deaths. Why wasn't anyone rushing to solve them earlier? Well, let's break this down, shall we? We know that Joss finally gets her moment to shine as the WSB's newest special agent. She'll crack the case all by herself, just like a true heroine in a crime drama. But in universe, oh, let's just say the PCP's investigative techniques are less than stellar. For starters, Officer Dex's death? Well, it was pretty obvious to anyone with 2 brain cells that Sonigod had probably tried to murder him again. I mean, he's already tried before, didn't he? Beat him up, threatened his life, you know, the usual Sonny style. So of course, the fine folks at the PCPD, including Anna, Dante, Mac, and the entire Paw Patrol, just shrugged and said, another day, another Sonny murder. Let's move on. Now, Sonigod doesn't exactly make a habit of murdering his baby mamas, does he? So why the sudden confusion? Maybe because the death in question was Sam, who's, you know, kind of been in the mix with Sonny too. If only they put 2 and 2 together, but no, that's too much effort for this crew. Anna, Dante, and Paw Patrol are so capable, aren't they? They couldn't catch a cold if it was handed to them with a side of chicken soup. Catching Cyrus? Not happening, so why bother, right? And of course, Portia? Ah, yes, she was sitting on this juicy little tidbit for months, not just from the police, but from Alexis too. Maybe because, you know, admitting Sam was dead would have been a lawsuit waiting to happen. Priorities, people, always about those liabilities. So to sum it up, incompetent cops, a secretive doctor, and a plot so tangled even the best detective would throw up their hands. What a great setup for Joss's grand solo adventure. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.